everyone, welcome to Bickering Book Reviews. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Becky.
And today we're talking about Are You a Maybe by Rachel Lynn Solomon. I got this through, wow, I'm blanking on where I got this through. NetGalley.
I got it through Edelweiss.
Think. No, I got it through Edelweiss too. Alright, so this is about Peter and Sophie, who've been best friends for ages. They're next door neighbors. But early on, Peter was diagnosed with kidney disease. And so he's kind of been sick the whole time growing up. So a lot of times kind of Sophie would have to forego things, like active things, so that Peter could participate. But that she was okay with that because she loved him and they were best friends. And now that Sophie's finally 18, it turns out she's a kidney match for Peter. So she actually gives him one of her kidneys. And after this happens, the thought is that, Peter will be better and they'll be able to do everything that they couldn't do before, especially because Sophie's come to terms with the fact that she is in love with him, not just in friend love with him. But after Peter gets the new kidney, things don't turn out like they were planned. I mean, he's kind of coming to terms with his own identity now that he's kind of feeling better and is able to do more things than he was before. And Sophie kind of doesn't know where she fits in his world anymore. So she's also exploring kind of what her identity looks like without Peter. And they're still kind of grappling with the thoughts of kind of liking each other. But do they like each other because she gave him a kidney, or do they like each other because they like each other? And there's a lot of just different layers going on, but it's all as it relates to their identities.
Well, and one of the things that you've left out, which I don't think is a spoiler because I think it's in the book description, is Peter was a piano player, and he joins a band, and he gets involved with, what did Chase play? Was he the guitarist in the band? Chase, it doesn't really matter. And that, to me, was the part of the book I liked. I liked Peter exploring life after not dying, and I liked him connecting with Chase, and I liked their relationship, and I kind of liked what they connected over.
So, I think I left it out because I didn't like the Peter parts. I don't like Peter. I guess his relationship with Chase is okay because Chase is okay, but I don't like Peter.
See, and I found Sophie boring, and I found Peter and Sophie together on the page boring, and the kidney stuff, I
didn't like them together, but God, I felt so bad for that girl. Peter reminds me of the main character in Side Effects May Vary by Julie Murphy, the girl who has cancer.
See, I don't think that's fair.
Oh my God, I think so.
Because the thing with Side Effects May Vary was, she purposely, took a sledgehammer to her life. Peter had spent his whole life thinking he was dying, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh wait, you're not. And he has to figure out, who am I? And then Sophie has spent her whole life wrapped around them. That's the other thing. About 75% of the way through the book, they kind of went on these separate journeys. And this is, I guess, kind of a spoiler. It's not really, because it's just the characters grow, which that happens in a book. And that got interesting. And actually, the last 25% of the book, I really, really liked it. And I almost was like, oh, well, should get rated higher than I thought on Goodreads. But then I'm like, that other 75% to get through took me 3 weeks.
I mean, it didn't take me long. I was able to get through it pretty quickly because, overall the plot was interesting. I didn't like Peter because he felt sanctimonious. He was constantly climbing up on a soapbox, giving everybody the, dictionary definition of different parts of his identity, and it was irritating. If you're going to put that in there, it needs to be integrated better, and instead of characters telling you exactly what things are, why don't you show me?
See, I didn't necessarily see that, though. Yes.
I felt it. It felt it hardcore.
They broke down, the kidney disease, but I didn't know the kidney disease.
No, and it wasn't just the kidney disease. It was the fact that he's bisexual. It was the fact that it was kind of those layers of sexuality. It was the layers of their romantic relationship. It was the layers of his religion. I appreciate having that in the book. I just don't appreciate how it was presented. Because I think it could have been integrated better.
See, and, at the beginning of the book, literally, it took me, I would read, 15, not even 15 pages, 5 or 6 pages, and then I would stop and read something else because I just could not get through this. And a big problem is that I don't buy that they would have been able to do this kidney transplant process as quickly as they did. Because, they talk about, yes, she met with a counselor, but I don't buy that a 18-year-old and a 17-year-old would be able to arrange this and not have, I thought with live donor transplants like this, it was way more counseling than that. I thought it was a huge, long process. And this, because of what happens in this book.
Well, it's just kind of frustrating that we're talking about kind of these almost surface level issues because the fact of the matter is there are other like aspects of this story that were super compelling and interesting. I mean, let's talk about the fact that the younger sister, the main character's younger sister, has a teenage pregnancy, has a baby, and is rather successfully raising the child with the child's father and like is figuring it out. You rarely see that.
But that's like 15 pages in the book. Because no, they were, and I can't remember the sister's name. I keep thinking Luna, but that was the niece. And that was interesting.
That was probably kind of the part I enjoyed the most about this book.
I can see that. That was one of the few compelling parts. But maybe I just wasn't a fan of the writing, but it never grabbed me, and I was just like,
all right,
get through it.
Let's just rate this thing. Okay. Our rating scale goes from 5 unicorns down to 2 unicorns. If we didn't like it, it's a horse and doesn't get a horn. So, where are you?
I'm at a 2. I liked parts of it at the end, but the majority of it I just had a really hard time getting through.
I'm at a 2 simply because of the sister storyline. It was the best part of this book, and it was really well done. It really was. All right, so we will see you around.
Bye.